So in the previous, we have said when we develop the software, we have a 6-step software development life cycle, and which is listed here. It's a cycle, and it includes 6 steps. The first is, as we said, the program specification. Okay, and the second would be we design a program and we coded the program and we test the program. And then we write some program documents. And finally, the documents can be maintained. Okay, so it is a 6-step life cycle. And including the what's the problem is, how to design the algorithm, how to do the programming, and how to do the tests, and write the documents is also important. And also finally we maintain the results. So for the first step, the program specification, which we also call the program definition or the program analyze. So in this process, we can learn from the names, right? We analyze the problem. We define what the problem is and what's the expected results. So we define the program. We do the definition of this program. So during this process, there are supposed to be 5 items need to be specified, need to be very clear so that we can design the algorithm. So the first is, what's the objective, right? We need to know the final objective. And we need to know what's the desired output. And we need to know what input data are required. And we need to know what's the processing requirement, and also some documentation. Okay, so we use such kind of procedure so that these things will help us to design to the second stage, to design the program. So plan a solution using structured program techniques. We call them to design some program. So we have also, or of course, we have several techniques to help us to design the programs, like the top-down design principles, like we use flowchart with pseudocode to represent the algorithm or represent how we are going to solve these problems. And some, like we have a lot of structures, we have several logic structures to help us to create the flowchart or the pseudocode, and of course further for the programming. So this is the second step. We design the program, and then we say when we design the program, one important thing is the algorithm, how to represent the design, right? We can represent the design through the algorithm. So set of steps for carrying out the task can be written down and implemented. So we can written down, okay, how to carry out the task, the steps. And start by recording the steps you take to solve the problem manually, and specify how to manipulate the information. And also you need to specify what the algorithm should display as a solution. Okay, so these things need to specify during this process for the designing. Okay, so for the to design a program, we have some design principles. First, we call it a top-down design method. That is, we have learned that we abstract the problem, and then into from the abstraction to the particular, and from the top to the down. So we divide the main program into several tasks, and each one can also be divided into several tasks. Such kind of processing from the top to the down. So we define the program's processing steps. We call them a series of models. And each model is made up of some logical repeated program statements. And then we introduce the flowchart. We use flowchart to represent the algorithm, and it is a graphic way to represent the program. So it is graphically to represent the detailed sequence of the steps needed to solve programming problems. So this is an example of the flowchart. We can see here we have different shapes using different colors. And the different shapes, in fact, represent different part. For example, the orange rectangle one is to represent to process this instruction. Okay, while this purple one is that it is the input or output. While this diamond one is to represent the decision, that is yes or no. So it is a question here. Then it has several branches. If yes, it go to what kind of instructions, and if no, it go to another kind of instructions. And also we have some connectors. Then we have know what the flowchart looks like. We use different shapes to represent the different situation, and it is used to represent the algorithm in a sequential steps. So we'll introduce some three most important logic structures. So the first is the almost all the program in the computer are constructed or designed using these three logic structures. So the first one is the most easily to understand one, that we use a sequence control structure. Which is just a one step by one step, right? One step by one step. If, remember here, even though we have this one for the print, but it will not be executed. Okay, because we execute a go to, then go to will directly go to the next part. So this sentence will not be executed. So anyway, it's just a sequence, one step by one step procedure. It's the most easily to understand. And then the second one is we said use this diamond. It's a decision. So it is we call it a selection control structure. Okay, so it is a question here, and it indicates a decision. If this question is the answer of this question is yes, then go to one branch. If others, it go to another branch. Okay. And then we have the third one is a repetition control structure. That is, we have a loop here. Okay. So it will do the same thing in the loop many times until some condition are satisfied. Okay. So so it will include a decision part to judge whether this loop has been done or not. So it has an and decision question to judge. Okay. So we introduce a three basic logic structure in the computer that sequence that make a decision or do the repetition. Then we introduce the procedural language and their some applications. For example, the most popular procedural language is that C programming language. And we like the Fortran or others are also listed here. And the procedure approach is best for the problem that can be solved by following a step-by-step algorithm. Doesn't fit graceful with certain types of problems. Okay, so this procedural language is corresponding to the object-oriented the programming language. So this is facing to the procedure. Okay, so it is designed by one step by one step. While the object-oriented is mainly face this object, it designed the computer from the object viewpoint. For each object, what kind of instruction you need or processing you need to do. So the produce programs that can run quickly and use system resources efficiently. So this is we call it procedure language.